I did not expect the response.
It was so great to see the whole world become obsessed.
No, I've never experienced a show that goes viral. That's the first time, I think.
The first time I met John Galliano, I saw him across the room. I thought, I can't allow this moment to pass.
It was one of those nights I was leaving a club with Kate. All fine, all fine. And then this Gwendolyn came out from the bowels of the club. And I remember Alexi was with us and I was like, who's that? Who's that? And jumped in the cab, disappeared. But never forgot that image.
John's work has been hugely influential to me since I was a teenager. And John was extraordinarily kind and said that he hoped that we would work together one day.
I've been a fan of Gwendolyn's for a long, long time. She didn't know. And I think in one of those banters we were having, I said, you know, we've met before. And she went completely red. She went, oh, I thought you would never, you'd forgotten that. And it was quite sweet.
This is the first time I've walked in one of John Galliano's shows. Even saying that feels so bizarre.
She put the time in. She came in for the fittings 3 or 4 times. Trips to London, sous-vêtements, the undergarments, the corset training, and created the dress on her, really.
It's really influenced me more greatly than perhaps I can even convey. Wild imagination, but coupled with real craftsmanship. Those things coming together and creating true artistry.
Well, my research books, I love the way they're all pinned up like little butterflies. You can help yourself, you can flick through and you see there's research on dolls, Van Dongen as well, you know, some of the makeup ideas that we played with and the colors. Over here, it's like a cabinet de curiosité. So we have the tulip corset, the Ethel corset, the cincha, and these are for boys and girls. Happy to discuss some of the newness, if you like, or some of the new techniques and retrograding. The idea that you could almost treat the subject wearing the dress like a line drawing. So imagine you start with just a crayon at the top, and that crayon becomes more intense as you get to the waist. Then through color and fabric and a retrograde of techniques, you build up the 3-dimensionality of that dress. It was like dégradé. So dégradé of line, dégradé of technique, dégradé of textures.
When I saw the collection, I saw quite how beautiful it was. The innovation with the fabrics, the narrative, the storytelling, the emotion. When I saw all of those things, it connected back to what his work has brought me.
At that level of dressmaking, which is the highest form of dressmaking, just once a year, because of the time it involves. The structures, the substructures, you know, all the engineering, especially building a dress on a redefined body shape. That's what I wanted to do. It was inspired by many references.
I looked at the Brassai photographs. That's what he talked about. And I knew those photographs very well because I've been quite obsessed with them when I was around 20. I used to stare at those photographs and think about who the people were and what the stories were, what had been happening.
Once we had redefined the body shape, it was only then that I could start to build the dress. So it always had to come back to that waist measurement, the corset, otherwise the dress wouldn't fit. I'd already started to work with curvier girls on couture, private orders. I wanted to do that more, so I embraced it. I absolutely embraced it. The casting was all-inclusive.
I thought the casting was spectacular. I thought it was really great because we saw so many different types of people. What was incredibly modern about the show was that it was exploring a totally different silhouette from one we're used to seeing.
The different morphology, it was just so exciting and so challenging. Everything was You had to find an answer, you had to work it out.
I am extremely tall and I'm certainly not sample size. And I thought it was beautifully radical for John to amplify and intensify my size and my proportions and change them and really be extreme about what I am and who I am. Well, Pat McGrath is also a genius. I know that can be an overused phrase, but it's used rightfully so with Pat. We became friends because she found me in a nightclub years ago, and I was wearing a look of hers. And she said, "I love your makeup. I want to take a photograph of you." At that time, I didn't know what Pat McGrath looked like, so just this woman had taken a photograph of me. We talked about makeup, and afterwards someone said that was Pat McGrath, and I went, no! I really missed out on a huge moment.
Well, I remember it was early January and I had my briefing, and then John just told me this amazing story. We were going to be under a bridge. He showed me the lighting and then also showed me all of these incredible characters. It was such incredible detail. And then John showed me this porcelain doll and was like, "I'd love to take it to glass skin." So instantly I knew we were going to have to find something completely new and different. I knew we were going to have to take it there.
We'd been working on something that we call Margiela's skin for a long time now. One of the inspirations was the China doll. So it's something we've gradually been working towards, but here was the opportunity to really go for it. So I said, let's go for it.
Once you're told you have to do a new skin that has never existed before, you have to develop something that is out of this world. We started with the look. The look was kind of more matte. We kept trying to add more shine, but to me, it looked like something we'd already seen before. It was all about the designs, the weight. How do you make skin look like porcelain? It was really measured, and how the makeup is applied and the lightness. And like we said, we couldn't do anything that was clown white. It had to be very subtle.
That took a lot of working out just from the point of view of timing. So I think to begin with, there was 7 layers. 7 layers. And the effect was just like, wow. When the boys and girls walked in, we were just like blown over. We
went into the Margiela offices and then we showed the first look with the new glass skin, and everybody was a standing ovation by the whole team.
To come into this Margiela show and see that she had pushed the boundaries even further. She had taken the idea of a filter, which is obviously AI and digital. She'd taken something from the digital realm and brought it into the physical realm. This is something entirely new.
Very soon I realized that, with the undergarments that we were using and the corsetry and the hair and the makeup, that we actually needed a military-style planning to get all my muses ready on time. So I said, can you cut off some of the time pack? Can you bring it down? Can you bring it down? So she went back studiously with her team, and they got it down, and then they got it down again.
In the end, I will say, with the team and myself, they had it down to around half an hour, because we had to be quick. We cannot be late. Really and truly, I would say that the look could take about an hour and a half.
I think when I started, I'd already planned it out upstairs where we normally show, and then it suddenly dawned on us that we'd run out of space to do it indoors. I actually discovered that place on one of my early morning jogs, then inquired if it was possible to do something there, and I was told no, and then got a no again. And then the more I couldn't get it, the more I wanted it. You know how it is, because I just love the address. The idea that we'd invite our guests to this fantastic address and then take them downstairs to this dank kind of underbelly under the bridge, with the sound of the river, the ebb and the flow, and that muffled sound of cars and people above the bridge. And it was like the audio that I needed for my characters.
Something in my work as an actress is that when I go on set, I want to be in a world and I'll do whatever I can to create that world. And often I'll need to use my imagination to its fullest to really immerse in that world. But with what John had created, I didn't have to so much do that work.
Oh, it'd be fab to actually have them look like they're coming back from a night out or whatever. There was a bit of a vampire story underneath all that too. They had to get back before midnight.
I did not expect the response to be as big as it was at all. I did not think there would be this tsunami of absolute love.
It was so great to see the whole world become obsessed, trying to make this glass skin. And it was, like I said, it was heartwarming. It was beautiful to see. And at the same time, I was shocked.
The reaction after, I mean, normally I just, I grab my dogs and I'm out and in the car. But I was informed that something had gone down. Yes. The kids that were dressing up with pillows and dad's coats and doing the Lyon walk. And as a designer, you want to inspire the young ones and the young kids. It's amazing to get reviews, but to actually, leave one of these venues, go home, and you see a kid has switched his raincoat back to front, charging down the street, and you think, yeah, I've done something here. That makes me really happy.
But what was amazing was that a few of my friends said, Gwen, imagine all those kids being inspired by Galliano's show like we were growing up, and the impact that had on us. Imagine it happening again.
That's how shows used to be, no? You go and you get inspired to do it yourself with whatever you had with you. It would just inspire you. So I think that's a good nerve to hit, I think.
I'm a fan of fashion. I love fashion. As a child, that was my day out, was to go to department stores, look at collections with my mother. And for me to actually live this and see the things I see, I bring that inspiration and my passion into all of my work. And also to see how everyone works together as teams, everybody. It's incredible. It's beyond dreams.